The Inspector General told me it was the worst case of lack of on-time delivery, the worst case of distribution problems he had ever seen, ever, in an audit that he had done. Ever. What's been changed since then?
If you look at the service scores, I would commend you to go online. We publish our service scores weekly.
I don't want to go online. I want you to come here with answers because you're the Postmaster General of the United States. I don't want to have you come here and be told you don't know what's going on in my home state. When I have written to you, when I have called you, when my residents have called you and asked you, when they're paying their taxes and they're paying these Postal Service marks and increases, I don't want to be told, go online.
A U.S. Senator walks into a hearing holding photos of thousands of pieces of abandoned mail, tax documents, prescription drugs, bills, and personal letters dumped in a vacant lot. Then he asks the Postmaster General a simple question. What have you done about it? The answer shocks the room. This is the first time I've heard about it. What follows is a fiery confrontation over missing mail, failed delivery targets, executive bonuses, and accountability at the highest levels of the Postal Service. And it ends with a stunning demand. If things don't get better, you ought to resign, fire.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General, welcome. Good to see you. I want to show you a picture, if I could, just to start. This is North St. Louis, Missouri. This is April 29th of this year. This is right around North Taylor Avenue. This is a pile of mail. Thousands of pieces of mail. Tax documents, prescription drugs, bills, utility communications from companies, thousands and thousands of documents. As you might imagine, the residents of St. Louis, when this was discovered on April 29th, were absolutely outraged, not least because the mail has been slow and not delivered and missing targets for years now. And here we have thousands of pieces of mail. Some of the postmarks here, this wasn't going across the country. You have letters here that were just going across town that had been dumped in this pile. Now, the Postal Service promised the public and me, when this was discovered, that there'd be a full accounting of this. We would find out what happened, and we'd have a full and total investigation and complete transparency. And since that time, I've heard nothing. That was April. I've heard nothing. What's the answer?
My answer would be, when you put up that in front of me, I'm outraged.
What have you done about it?
And I think everybody in the Postal Service that bleeds postal blue would be outraged.
Well, but what have you done about it? That was months ago. What have you done since then?
Since this is the first time I've heard about it.
How is this possibly the first time you've heard about it since I've written to you? Members of the delegation have written to you. Listen, I get thousands of pieces of mail a week about the post office. People's mail not being delivered. Here it is in a pile. And you're telling me this is the first time you've heard about it?
It's the first time I've heard about it.
Don't you think that's kind of exceptional? What's going on in the management of the Postal Service?
Senator, because
you don't know?
I don't think I have heard about it.
What's going on in the management of the Postal Service that you've got a pile of thousands of pieces of mail in a major city, and this is the first time, you're the Postmaster General, you're telling me it's the first time you've heard about it. Who works for you? What's going on?
640,000 people.
Well, maybe you want to fire some of them. Do you think that this is doing the job?
I think that's outrageous.
You're missing your targets all over my state. Let's take a look at another picture. Your targets for on-time delivery in my state, which were not good to begin with, are just in the 90s, meaning that you could miss it 10% of the time and give yourself an A grade. But start looking there in 2024, 2025, you're hitting your on-time delivery targets 76% of the time, maybe. That means fully a quarter of the time, best case scenario, people's mail in my state is not being delivered to them on time. Is this acceptable?
It's absolutely not acceptable.
Well, why is it not changing?
It is changing. If you actually look at the numbers, you'll see the numbers have been increasing.
It is not changing. That's this year. That is April of this year. Just last year, the Inspector General, when I asked him to do an audit of the St. Louis Distribution Center, the Inspector General told me it was the worst case of lack of on-time delivery, the worst case of distribution problems he had ever seen, ever, in an audit that he had done. Ever. What's been changed since then?
If you look at the service scores, I would commend you to go online. We publish our service
No,
scores weekly.
I don't want to go online. I want you to come here with answers because you're the Postmaster General of the United States. I don't want to have you come here and be told you don't know what's going on in my home state. When I have written to you, when I have called you, when my residents have called you and asked you, when they're paying their taxes and they're paying these postal service marks and increases, I don't want to be told, go online. I want answers. And the other thing I want to know is, why are you getting bonuses and members of your staff getting bonuses for this kind of performance? Let's take a look. Just look at the numbers. The Postmaster Generals of this country in the last 10 years have gotten bonuses over $2 million. You got a bonus last year, $305,781. Why? Why are you getting bonuses when my constituents can't get the mail?
Senator, I don't control bonuses. Our board of governors.
Will you pledge not to take them?
Pardon me?
Will you pledge not to take them?
Will you pledge to reward our people?
Oh, no. Don't turn it around. You are in charge of the Postal Service, and we have given you everything you've asked for. Just 3 years ago, this Congress allotted tens of billions of dollars to the Postal Service. I'm glad you think it's funny, Postmaster General. You think that this situation is funny. Let the record reflect the Postmaster General is laughing as he gets asked why he's taking bonuses while there's piles of undelivered mail in my state. It's a disgrace. It is an absolute disgrace.
Let the record reflect that I was laughing when you said we've been given everything we've asked for.
You have been given an opportunity to deliver the mail, and you're here laughing about it. You are here telling me you don't know, you're unprepared, and let the record reflect you won't pledge not to take bonuses. So you're going to keep on taking them? Is that what you're telling me? Yes or no? Will you refuse bonuses so long as the mail goes undelivered?
Any piece of mail?
Yes or no? Will you refuse bonuses until the mail gets delivered? Yes or no?
What mail?
Oh, this is extraordinary. In other words, you don't know. You want the money. Unbelievable. 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 I am absolutely astounded at this today, General.
As am I.
Well, you should be. And frankly, if things don't get better, you ought to resign because you're not doing the job. You're leaving your good postal workers out there. You're hanging them out to dry. They don't make near what you do. They're working their butts off. They're getting blamed, and you're getting the bonus. We got a big problem.
Time has expired.
And based on what I've seen today, you're part of it.
What made this exchange so explosive wasn't just the shocking image of thousands of pieces of mail sitting abandoned in a vacant lot, it was the response that followed. Senator Josh Hawley came into the hearing looking for answers about a mail dumping incident that had outraged residents in St. Louis for months. But when Postmaster General Louis DeJoy said it was the first time he had heard about the case, Hawley immediately went on the offensive. The confrontation quickly shifted from missing mail to a much larger issue: accountability. Hawley argued that Missourians continue to face delayed deliveries while postal leadership receives bonuses and avoids direct responsibility for ongoing service failures. The most memorable moment came when Hawley challenged DeJoy over executive compensation and ultimately suggested that if performance doesn't improve, leadership changes may be necessary. Whether you agree with Hawley or not, the exchange highlighted a frustration many Americans share: when essential services fail, people want answers, and they want someone in charge to be accountable. What do you think? Was Hawley right to demand answers, or was he being unfair to postal leadership? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more major congressional hearings, political confrontations, and breaking news analysis.